Have you ever looked up at the night sky filled with countless stars and felt a sense of profound wonder? It is a truly humbling experience. We see galaxies spinning in the dark, nebulae where new stars are born, and the faint ancient light from the very edge of what we can observe. For centuries, we believed this vast, star-dusted expanse was everything, the whole show, the entire story of existence. But what if it isn't? What if everything we see, every star, every galaxy, every single atom in our bodies, is just a single page in a much, much larger book? To get our heads around this, let's use a simple analogy. Think of a cosmic onion. Our universe is just one of its many skins, one thin layer wrapped around a core we can't yet see. Each layer is a universe in its own right, with its own set of physical laws, perhaps even its own dimensions. Imagine two parallel sheets of paper. They could be incredibly close to each other, just a millimeter apart. But a two-dimensional creature living on one sheet would have no way of knowing the other exists. Its entire world is flat. It can't look up or down into the third dimension that separates the sheets. We could be in a similar situation. One of the most stubborn problems is the weakness of gravity. You can overcome the gravitational pull of the entire planet Earth with a tiny fridge magnet. Perhaps gravity isn't actually weak. Perhaps its full strength is spread out across all the dimensions, across all the layers of the cosmic onion. Some theories suggest that dark matter could be the gravitational shadow of matter in a parallel universe, a nearby brain. String theory proposes that if you could zoom in on a particle to an impossibly small scale, you would find it is not a point at all. Instead, you would see a tiny, one-dimensional vibrating filament of energy, a string. All the different particles and forces we see in the universe are nothing more than the different notes in a grand cosmic symphony, all played on these tiny, fundamental strings. For the mathematics of string theory to work, the universe must have more dimensions than the 3 of space and 1 of time that we are familiar with. The concept of brain worlds asks you to imagine our entire universe, everything we can see, touch, and measure, as existing on a vast 3-dimensional membrane. We, and all the particles and forces that make up our world, except possibly for gravity, are stuck to this brain. Our brain might not be the only one floating in the bulk. There could be other brains, other universes existing parallel to our own. In string theory, the particle that carries the force of gravity, the graviton, is represented by a closed string, a tiny loop with no endpoints. Because it has no ends to tie it down, this loop of string is not stuck to our brain. This would mean gravity is the one force that can connect different layers of reality. It's the cosmic messenger, the one whisper we might hear from another universe floating nearby in the great dark expanse of the bulk. The holographic principle suggests that the reality we experience with its 3 dimensions of space might actually be an illusion. It proposes that all the information that makes up our 3-dimensional universe could be entirely encoded on a distant 2-dimensional surface. This startling idea came from work on the physics of black holes. Physicists found that the amount of information a black hole can contain is not proportional to its 3-dimensional volume, but to the 2-dimensional area of its event horizon. Could our 3-dimensional reality be a projection of information stored on a 2-dimensional boundary at the edge of the cosmos? What if our entire universe, with all its stars, galaxies, and complex laws of physics, is not a fundamental reality at all? What if it is an incredibly advanced computer simulation? The philosopher Nick Bostrom reasoned that one of 3 propositions must be true. Civilizations go extinct before developing simulation technology. They lose interest in creating simulations, or we are almost certainly living in a simulation. For every one base reality, there would be countless simulated realities. Therefore, simple statistics suggest it is far more probable that we are in one of the many simulations than in the one unique base reality. Our last big idea comes from a short story by Jorge Luis Borges called The Library of Babel. Borges pictures a universe that's like a huge library that has every book that could ever be written. Using just 25 basic symbols, this library holds every possible way these symbols can be put together. So it has every book ever written, and every book that could ever be written. Most of the books are just meaningless mess. But hidden in all that mess is every clear thought, every beautiful poem, every scientific discovery, even the ultimate answer to everything. The Library of Babel is a perfect way to think about the inflationary or quantum multiverse. Just like the library has every possible way to combine letters, the multiverse might have every possible way to combine physical rules and starting conditions. Our universe, with its perfect settings that allow for stars, planets, and life, is like one of the library's rare, perfectly clear books. We live in it because it's one of the few books in the universe's library where smart beings could show up and understand what's real. Throughout the ages, we have seen our place in the cosmos shrink dramatically. We once believed the Earth was the center of everything. Then Copernicus and Galileo showed us we were just one planet orbiting a rather ordinary star. Then Hubble revealed that our Milky Way was just one galaxy among billions. The idea of a multiverse is the next logical and perhaps final step in this cosmic demotion. If there are countless other universes, possibly with their own forms of life and consciousness, then our existence is no longer a unique miracle. Perhaps meaning is not something that is given to us by the cosmos, but something we create ourselves, right here and now. We are the custodians of consciousness in this sliver of reality. Thinking about a multi-layered reality could have profound implications for the long-term future of our species. Could we, one day, develop the technology and understanding of physics required to interact with or even travel to another brain? Scientists are already designing experiments that look for subtle clues, such as gravitational waves behaving in strange ways, or missing energy in high-energy particle collisions. The idea of humanity one day becoming a multi-universal species is the ultimate expression of the survival instinct. The path forward lies in pushing the boundaries of both theoretical and experimental physics. Scientists at the Large Hadron Collider are smashing particles together at incredible energies, hoping to see signs of extra dimensions. Astronomers are meticulously mapping the cosmic microwave background, looking for strange patterns or bruises that might indicate a collision with another universe in the distant past. They are studying the behavior of gravity and gravitational waves with increasing precision, searching for any deviation that could point to its leakage into another dimension. The discoveries of the coming decades could reshape our understanding of reality in ways we can barely anticipate. We may find nothing, or we could find the first hint that our universe is not alone. Ultimately, these theories represent humanity's relentless curiosity. We are a species that looks up at the sky and wonders what lies beyond the horizon. The universe has consistently proven itself to be stranger and more wonderful than we could have ever imagined. The possibility that it is just one layer in a vast, multi-layered reality is perhaps the most profound and exciting idea we have ever confronted. What new wonders await us as we continue to peel back the layers of the cosmic onion? Only time and our own relentless quest for knowledge will tell.